Hey guys, Diana here from Garden Love. So today I'm going to be repotting this special tree. That's my pink lemonade. It's a Eureka lemon that has lemons with stripes and the inside is pink. It's very unique fruit and I absolutely love it. Now the reason why this tree is special is because this was actually an air layer from about 3 years ago. I took it from my neighbor. It was a success. I'm super happy that it's still growing and thriving. So I am going to be potting it to a bigger pot so that way it can continue to grow and hopefully give me fruit eventually. I have 2 of them. I purchased one from Home Depot and I should say the big box store, and this just in case this air layer didn't work. However, it did work, so now I have 2. One of them I already repotted, is right behind me. I'm not sure if you guys can see it in the shot. I'll show you guys in a bit. And this one, it's still in this container. It constantly dries out because there's not enough soil in here anymore. I don't know if you'll still be able to see where I cut the air layer. I hope you can, so you guys can see that this one indeed was an air layer. It's not root, it's not a grafted tree, and it's not a tree from a seed. It's an air layer, which means that it was cloned. Some people call it cloning, some people call it air layering, some people I don't know, there's different names for it, but I am gonna just pull it out here. Hopefully you guys can see. Actually no, it's completely root bound. It's definitely ready to go into a new container. I can no longer show you guys what the cut looks like. I will link a video on when last year when I potted it to that container, and you guys can see what the cut looks like from this air layer. But look at how amazing that looks. It actually looks better. This root bound looks better than the other pink lemonade that I just potted into that big container. So I already have a hole in this container, and I have some water bottles in there to help, and I'm just going to do the same process that I do with all my other. So you can see where the trunk is from where I did the cutting. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Look at that. Alright guys, so I just want to show you that again. This is amazing. I'm really impressed with this. Look at that. I'm so excited. Okay, so there we go. Let me show you guys how I'm putting this in there. See that? Spreading the roots that look amazing. I put shirt start. Let's go ahead and get started with this project. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to get my EB Stone citrus and palm soil and go ahead and start filling in the container. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some shirt start to the soil and mix it in. After that, we're going to grab our homemade compost and mix a little bit of that as well. Keep in mind, if you don't have homemade compost, you can always buy some worm castings. If you learn how to clone a tree and do an air layer, I will link the first video of when I did this air layer right above, and I'll also put it at the end of this video, okay? Alright guys, here's my special tree. I am going to loosen up and get these rocks out. And then just wake it up, make sure that it knows that it's getting transplanted. A lot of rocks in here. In case you were wondering why there was rocks below the roots, it's because in the previous container I put some rocks at the bottom of the container to ensure there was well drainage. Naturally, the roots grew around the rocks. The next thing I'm going to do, in addition to shirt start, I'm going to add a little mycorrhiza to the roots to help the roots also get established and so they can grow well in the new soil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to fill the container to ensure that my tree is sitting at the right height. I don't want my tree sitting too low or above the container. I'm about to put it about an inch below the level of the container. Once you have the ideal height of your tree, you want to make sure that you backfill it. One tip that I do want to add, this container is quite unique, so it really doesn't matter which is the front or the back, but when you are potting a tree, you want to make sure that you're looking at your container and you decide which part of that container is going to be facing outwards, and you want to adjust your tree accordingly, because once your tree's in there, you're not going to be able to move it around, and whichever side, your best side of that tree is going to be facing, the container is going to be facing with it. Just a little tip. And I know you're probably wondering what size container this is. Before I tell you what size container this is, I want to tell you that when you pot a tree, you want to make sure you go to the next size up. You don't want to go from a 5-gallon to maybe a 45-gallon container. You want to go from a 5-gallon to a 10 to 15, maybe 20-gallon container. Just like this Eureka lemonade, it went from an air layer, which was about a cup size, then it went into like maybe a gallon size container, and then eventually went into a 5-gallon container, and this is about 10 to 15-gallon container. Next time I decide to pot this tree, it's probably going to go into a 25 to 35-gallon container. It's very important that you don't go from a 5-gallon to a 35, because the root ball is not big enough to take use of all the soil that's in that large container, so several things can happen. One, the soil will retain too much moisture and your tree can get root rot. Two, your root ball can dry out, and when you water your plant, it's going to go all around the dry soil, and your tree won't be benefiting from all your watering. Talk about feeding your tree. I'm not going to be feeding this tree for the next couple months just because the soil that I put in there has all the nutrients that it needs. Eventually, I am going to be feeding it once a month, because you have to keep in mind that this tree is in a container and the only access to nutrients is what's in the container. Lastly, don't forget to trim all the dead branches, all the dead leaves. That way your tree can be happy and start sprouting new leaves and new blooms. Of course, once you're done, you cleaned up and you moved it to the location where you want it to be, give it a very good watering. Hey, wait, let's rewind. I forgot one thing. Don't forget to mulch. Here we are a few days later. This got fully watered. It's been raining, so it's also been getting some rainwater. After a few days that this has been potted, it didn't drop its leaves, which is amazing. That's a great sign and a sign of success of a successful transplant. Obviously, I used the best products, so they did an amazing job of not giving this little tree a shock. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and learned something. I also hope that it has inspired you to get out there and clone a tree, because as you can see, you can get amazing results. Maybe you're moving from a home and you have a tree that you grew for years and years and you want to take a little piece from that tree with you. This is the perfect way to do it. Or maybe you want to give a piece of your special tree to someone else. Either way, get out there and make it happen. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Give me some thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. Share, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.